And that then brings me to absolutely my favorite topic. Well, one of the three for sure is business automation. Now, this is a transformational subject. It's not probably the absolute most exciting because it gets a bit technical. However, this is the key thing to learn to really start to take the next level. And I know Tyrell talked last time a little bit. Tyrell will give a brief overview of just how he got started building his online business, how he used Facebook group to create sort of 50K plus sales using online programs. So what we just briefly discussed. So now Tyrell is going to kind of show you like a finished version of what we've discussed today. And of course, Tyrell always says, you know, I'm still on the journey. I'm constantly evolving, constantly growing. Absolutely. And that's the beauty. And that's why Tyrell is here today, because he's hungry for knowledge. And I love how Tyrell trains and how he teaches and goes into detail. And, you know, Tyrell says, you know, he used to be this introvert, but he used that being an introvert with online with thousands of other introverts and said, you know what, as an introvert, you can build a business. You never have to leave home. You know, you can work behind the scenes. And while the introverts, they loved it. And he helped all these other people, hundreds, if not now thousands of people, to build their online businesses. So this is absolutely golden. Tyrell, if you, Nessa, if you can make Tyrell the host as well, so Tyrell can share the screen. And he'll be here with you for about 25-30 minutes. So we will go over to slightly. But please bear with us. And then at the end, we're also going to set some financial goals for you to really start taking the next level. So Tyrell, please, and thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing your secrets.
Thank you for having me, Suzanne. And thank you everyone for having me here as well. I think Vanessa just made me the co-host, so I'm going to share my screen. So I've put together just a little presentation, just an overview of some of the tools, some of the systems, some of the strategies that I used to basically set up my online business and how it helped me excel in a time when I didn't know much about online business. I didn't know much about marketing. And at the time I was, you know, in a job, a dead-end job, and I'm going to break down and go through a few things. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly and just break down everything. So let me know if you all can see my screen. I'm going to move a few things around. So what I'm presenting to you is my online business automation, and basically you're going to get a lot of foundation and fundamental around a few concepts that you can use as well, especially with, you know, selling digital products online to ensure that you excel. And one of them is that basically I knew nothing about marketing. 3 years ago, I was a delivery driver, doing 11 hours a day, 5 days a week, and literally bringing in just about $1,300 a month and barely making ends meet. And literally, I hated my job. I really didn't enjoy it. And at that time, I was in a situation where I just got married and I had to make the decision, you know, whether I wanted to be unhappy on this new journey or whether I wanted to take risks. And I'm a risk taker. So fast forward, and this has been over 3 years. I run a digital marketing agency, not only helping agencies and local businesses scale, but also helping entrepreneurs all around the world being able to create the business and lifestyle that they want. And literally this was all done with making a single decision. Now, as you can see here, this is my beautiful family. Plus one now, we have an addition. You probably can hear my daughter in the background at the minute. But basically, I have been able to enjoy bringing them, you know, showing them a life that I didn't have, a life that I couldn't provide for them at the time when I was in my 9 to 5. And just by putting the simple concepts that I was taught through mentorship programs together, I was able to scale. And as you can see, this is the 30th of June, 2017. Here we have May 2017. These are the incomes I was bringing in each month. And it was very hard. I struggled for some time. And one thing that I realized is it all comes down to mindset. And you have to wire your mindset for success. There is no way around it. As Charles said earlier, and like I said, Charles, hats off to you for that presentation, because you really hit the nail on the head. But mindset is a key aspect to this whole thing. Like, you need your mindset wired for success. And I enabled myself to do that through reading books, by learning from people who had been where I was and are where I wanted to be, and literally just implementing everything that they told me. Now, this is, and like I said, I'm not trying to rub it in no one's face. I'm not trying to show off, but I just want to show you that what was possible for me over a year of learning some of these things is seeing my first ever 5K month, and then going on to seeing a month where I made, well, this was in the space of 2 months where I made 10K. And then fast forward, receiving, while I was on holiday, I received, you know, payments from all these digital products where people are paying me $997 and so forth. And literally some months where I'm seeing in my bank where I'm seeing 8K in March, and then I've seen 11K one month. And every month, all I was doing was setting a goal. I was setting goals. I realized that, you know what, I've cracked the code. And as long as I set goals for each month, I realized that I was hitting those targets. So a lot of what Charles and what Suzanne has been saying about setting goals, it is key, it is important, and it is the fuel that's going to enable you to excel in your business. So my goal today, I am going to be breaking down online business automation. I'm going to explain what business automation is in brief. I'm also going to be going over how I built a community to sell products and services online organically with no paid advertisement, no upfront investment, just literally an idea, a concept, and a ridiculous work ethic. So I'm also going to go over how to automate and systemize your marketing, and just basically a few digital products that birthed my online ATM machine, as I call it. So I can tell you one thing, I've done a lot of things right, and I've also done a lot of things wrong. Because you have to understand, in a stage where I don't have a clue about what I'm doing, I don't have a clue about the concept, and I'm new to it, there was a lot of learning and figuring out and finding out and failing. And at the end of the day, I didn't look at failing as a negative. I used it as my fuel as my stepping stone to get where I needed to get. And one thing I can definitely say is, over doing this for a few years, I hit many obstacles. There's times where I wanted to quit. There's times where I really, you know, it really tested my mindset and everything that I was learning. And one thing I realized is I found out some hidden secrets that not a lot of gurus out there do tell you. So they all give you the surface level, you know, this get rich quick scheme, you know, they paint it in such a way where it looks so easy. But in reality, building a business is never easy. It's well worth it, but it requires a lot of work. And I'm going to show you some of the proven methods to increase sales. One thing that I hated as well when starting. I'm also going to show you how to build effective systems and processes, running an automating business, what that looks like. And we're going to dive into some really cool things. And like I said, I discovered this the hard way. I spent a lot of money and time failing and investing in the wrong people. And I'm going to give you the easy way today. Now, the hard way consists of me wasting time and money. It consists of me ending up with severe analysis paralysis, trying to learn from so many people at one time, trying to go onto Google and all these places and literally trying to figure out so many different things. It led me to extreme burnouts where it was hard for me to even think about business. It also led me to be frustrated. You know, these methods really wasn't working and I literally didn't know what to do. And it took mindset, it took a lot of me problem solving to really dig down into where I needed to go. And after doing this for months, I still wasn't getting anywhere, but I still had this drive. I had this goal that I was going to achieve. And literally after going around in circles and hitting glass ceilings, I struggled to scale in a time where I thought I had it all together. So I'm about to break down everything. So all I want to know is, are you ready? I probably am already over babbling, but I'm about to dive into some really good concepts. I've tried to condense it down as much as possible. There will be time for a bit of Q&A, I think, Suzanne, if that's correct. Just let me know. But literally, if you're ready, I just want to see ready in the chat. I like interaction. I don't want this to look like this is some lecture and I'm your, I'm the teacher and I'm just going to lecture through. Like, this is going to be interactive. So give me a ready in the chat if anyone is ready, and we're about to get started. Perfect. I can see some readies. Okay, then let's go. So one thing I want to leave with you today that I really want to press on everyone today on this call is stop wearing all the hats in the business. You need to stop wearing all the hats in your business. You will never be able to scale if you are doing everything, and one thing I want you to identify today, you might want to write this down as well, but how many hats are you wearing in your business? Are you the administrator? Are you doing your bookkeeping? Are you doing all these different processes in your business? And if so, you need to identify your strengths and you need to delegate and outsource and systemize your weaknesses. So just in a nutshell, online business automation, you have the manual route and you have an automated route. Now you need to move from the technician in your business to the CEO. Now what the CEO looks like is someone who is the overseer of the business. Now you can be a good technician, you could be a baker, and you do that, you have a passion in that, and you've set up a business as a baker. But if you're wearing all the hats in the business, it's going to be hard for you to really be a great baker and have a successful business, because there's too much things pulling you and tugging you left, right, and center. So you need to now decide how you're going to automate this. Are you going to bring in a team? Are you going to bring in systems that are going to allow you to free up your time so you can do what you do best? And this is where you will be able to scale. So one thing you have to understand, is always about working smarter and not harder. Any way, in shape or form, you can reduce your time spent inside your business, that you can work on your business, that is where you're going to get real good longevity and momentum. So one thing we're going to dive into is social media and the power of social media. This is where I was able to get some great success, and I'm going to break down and show you some methods, some tips that you can leverage, especially when selling digital products using social media. Now, we are dealing with Facebook. This is the platform that I use, a platform that I love, a platform that I've been using for a few years now. And as I said earlier, I'm going to break down how I built a community. A community that I built was a Facebook group. And this was so powerful that it enabled me to actually make just shy of 50K in my first year. And I was so blown away. And literally, you can do the same thing. Now, I grew this group to just over 2 years. I grew over 5.5K. I've done a lot of kicking out and deleting of members who have been abusing the group. We currently have quite a few member requests, but this is the type of group that I built, and it's all around my specific niche. Now, you can do the same if you have, you want to set up a group. Say, Charles, you want to do it around investment and trading, you would set up your group around that. If someone does sewing, you can set up your group around that. So basically, what I'm going to break down now is basically how you can grow that group, and then how you can actually craft together posts that not only engage, but enable you to win through copywriting techniques. Now, this is one of the digital products that you can actually leverage. Now, it's a free lead magnet. And this was a free lead magnet launch post that basically I gave away for free, filled with value. And as you can see from the post, we've got the emojis, we've got, attention, free guide. And I'm basically breaking down in simple steps exactly what they are going to get. And it's so important. And then at the end, I'm asking for engagement. So I'm asking them to like, and I'm asking them to comment prospecting. Now, if you can check here, you can see that we had over 200 comments and a few shares, and people came from this. So this was a PDF I gave away. And then I was able to get people to sign up for programs and other things. So here's one of the programs that I want to basically break down to you. This is called the Beta Program Launch. Now, this program alone, I actually made 10K from, and this was actually before I even had a product. So I didn't even create the product yet, and I literally was able to make 10K from it. The product wasn't made, but I had people paying me for it. This is called a beta, so it's like a test product, what I launched early. And these are the type of things you can do to enable you to be able to create the product as you go along and make it better and bring people in to actually test the product as you are creating it. So I want you to remove that concept that you have to have it all together before you actually launch. Here was a masterclass launch post that I was able to also create. And this was basically a $97 program, which it literally was an hour and a half on Zoom of me showing and walking someone through my systems, my funnel, and my exact strategy on how I was able to get the results in this given field. So this was actually a post that did great, and I think we made just over 5K off this alone. So it's as simple as this. There's no trick to it. There's no waving of a magic wand. It's just simply putting out posts in my community full of like-minded people who are in that exact niche and getting them to commit to pulling out their credit card and paying for these different types of launches. Now, I hope everyone's I don't want to overwhelm anyone. I hope everyone's following me so far. I know I'm kind of trying to breeze through everything. I've tried to condense it down, but I'm just trying to give you the aspect of exactly like an overview of exactly how I was able to take my business that I started from scratch with digital products and literally sell them in a community that I built just like that. And one of the automations and one of the tools that you can leverage is a sales funnel. This is going to speed up your process of how you are closing. So you might hate sales, but you can actually leverage sales funnels with copywriting to sell for you. So you're not literally selling like over the phone or so forth. So you've got a salesperson that's duplicated, your own salesperson duplicated across the internet, that's doing selling for you nonstop. All your job is to do is point traffic, people to that sales funnel. So what I want to break down and just go through is just the simple concept of a sales funnel. This is just attracting people. As you could see, I did with that free lead magnet launch. That was just sending people into a funnel to download a free PDF in exchange for their information. And then there was upsell funnels in there where they could sign up for a program if they wanted, or if they just wanted to consume the free information I was giving away, that's what they did. They also had an option to join my Facebook group. That is where I'm able to now get to know them more, provide them more value. And then when I'm doing my launches, they're able to see the launches I'm doing and deciding if they want to take action and sign up. So the top of the funnel is always where we're showing them the awareness on our product. Now, our job from when we show them the initial awareness on our product, we want to bring them down the funnel to be interested. Then we want to bring them down the funnel to make a decision whether they're ready to pull out their credit card and buy or not. And then at the end of the funnel is where we want them to take action and pull out their credit card and buy. That is just the simple 4 steps to a sales funnel. No complications around it. If you've got a digital product that you're trying to sell, you need to get people to be aware of that product on your sales funnel. Now we're going to put stuff on that sales funnel, copywriting, maybe previous results from students, maybe a video of you explaining and walking them through to get them interested in that product. Then hit this call to action button, get signed up now. That's a decision they will have to make, and whether they click the button and then taking the action, pulling out their credit card and buying. That is just the simple 4 steps. And that's literally just the concept. And we can look at it different ways. You can look at it from a website as well, and how that looks from a website angle on the right, or on the left from a marketing angle, and how we can do that. So brand awareness, show them the value, lead marketing, and a memorable experience, bringing them down the funnel. It's as simple as that. Now, here is one of my sales funnels that I was able to set up. This was the program that I showed you earlier, which was that Bots on Demand program. This was actually in our first early launch where we generated from organic traffic on social media from the group. So basically made just over $6,000 through just literally sending people from the group to a sales funnel and getting them to buy and enroll in the program. So I was able to test the funnel and check that it's working and tweak it to get it to really, you know, perfection. And then I could actually run paid advertisement after, once I've perfected the funnel and I can see that it's cranking out cash. So that is the concept around the sales funnel. And then, like I said, as I was saying earlier, we're wearing all the hats in your business. The art of outsourcing is always going to be key. So sales funnel can be one of your systems that you're using to systemize the processes of obviously collecting sales. And then you can outsource to virtual assistants and team members who are going to now come in and take those roles that you don't want to be a part of anymore. That's going to free up your time to work on the business, make your products better, and then be at a place where you can now put forward more ideas, you know, work on customer journey experience and really make the journey for each customer, you know, out of this world. And it's always about creating a great experience. Remember, we're providing a service. We want to make sure that that service is good. So just to kind of go over, you know, the 5 elements of outsourcing inside of a business when it comes to delegation. And it's literally just basically outsourcing parts of your business, you know, a service type business to a third-party service provider. You have virtual assistants nowadays all over the world that their sole job is to literally take on processes for businesses that they no longer want to take on. So why this is good is it's cost saving. That's always the first. You can actually find a virtual assistant from in the Philippines and pay them as from like, you know, $400 a month. And that would be them working like 50 hours a week. And literally that is a lot of money in the Philippines. That is like a well-earned income in the US. That's the translation in the Philippines. Now, we're not undercutting them. We're not, you know, this is not slavery. We're not trying to, you know, pay them peanuts. In their actual currency, 500 or 400 US dollars is actually a really good wage. So now also that would be time saving for you, which will allow you to have more time to focus on other parts of the business that you want to be constantly improving to ensure that the business thrives and you can scale. You also want to basically ensure that you have the third element in place, because it's going to help you to automatically increase revenue. You won't be burnt out. You won't be, your energy won't be sucked from the business because you're doing so many different things. You'll be able to now focus on what you do best and literally do that. And like I said, always as well, it's the flexibility and scalability, which is what we're looking for. Because if you really want to scale a business, there's no way you can wear all the hats in the business. So we literally go through all those steps, and I actually had to learn all those steps in the business to be able to scale. Okay. So my daughter is coming in demanding me. So I'm going to try and flow through this as quickly as possible. But basically, as you should know, a virtual assistant is literally just someone who is qualified in a specific role, that their job is to virtually take on roles and do those for businesses. That's their actual job. They look for companies who want virtual assistants and they're actually good in those fields, and you basically hire them, and you can do that from any walks of the world. Like, there's people out there, there's loads of groups on Facebook as well where you can find them. I'm going to leave you with a few websites as well that you can find virtual assistants from. If you are, you know, if you have a big weakness in a certain part of your business that you really would like to outsource, then these are the people for it. Now, here is where you can go to like freelancer.com. I think there's one called Odesk, Elance. You've even got one called Fiverr. You've got Guru Employment, VWorker. There's quite a few. And like I said, even after this call, I'll be able to send over a few more. There's Online PH, and all these places is where you can find VAs that are going to help you to scale. So like I said, that is all from me. Thank you all for watching. I hope I didn't overdo it. I hope nobody's sleeping. But like I said, that is just the basic 101, as I call it, of online business. So thank you all for listening.